Hey guys, we're back for another interview with one of my good friends, Marcus Eddy.
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
He's a great performer and he's amazing at making effects and he's just an all-around genius.
Nice. Wow. I'll take that. I'm taking that. Thanks for having me.
So, is it okay if I ask some questions?
I guess you can. I guess it's fine.
Yes, yeah. So I have a really question that I think is great. What would you be if you weren't a magician? Like if you never thought of being a magician?
If I never even thought about magic at all. So, wow, that's a good question. I originally wanted to be like a cartoonist because I really like cartoons and stuff like that, drawing.
Yeah.
But I think probably something to do with music. Yeah, I write music. I produce a little music, and I've done that a lot. But I've definitely transitioned over to magic. So if I was not doing that, I would either do something in magic and or game design as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I do like the idea of creating your own world, and so I have a couple programs that I can do some things with. But those are my hobbies. Magic is a thing, so I would say either music or something to do with game design.
I love games. I love how you can make them and make it your own idea.
Yeah.
And move it. It's a great thing.
Exactly. And I think the benefit of that is, if you're trying to film something, I guess you can kind of get the same idea with that. But in a game design, you can create your own characters, create every single aspect of the world, and then move around freely within it. Yeah. So I think that freedom of creating something like that is what I like. So basically, something with creating something is what I would do.
I have a really hard question.
Uh-oh.
So, if you wanted to poke around a magician's mind, any magician, anything you want to jam with, dead or alive, anybody there is.
To jam with.
To get in their head, to show your ideas so they can show them your ideas, and you can just talk with them for hours.
I'd probably say Paul Harris.
Really?
Yeah, I met him once briefly, showed him a couple things, but I didn't have the time to sit down and actually talk with him. Paul Harris is probably one of my biggest influences as far as the kind of gadget creations that I come up with, and so to sit down and talk with him and really pick his brain would be it. That would be the dream right there. So I'm gonna make that happen. I'm making that happen. So.
And make it happen. I really enjoy meeting magicians, like you, like other people.
Nice.
It's great to hear their ideas and hear if they like what I'm doing or if they hate it. Just,
either way, it's good, right? It's experience, it's learning.
Yeah. So, what would be your favorite effect that you don't perform?
Okay.
That you like someone else performing? That
you
like
just watching?
See it? Yeah.
My favorite effect that I like watching. Ooh, that is a monster question right there. I love that. There's so much magic out there.
Yeah.
So much great magic out there. There's a lot of bad magic out there, but there's some good stuff. Wow. I recently saw a Derek Delgadio show. And have you heard about the show already?
No, I have not. Yeah.
Okay. He does something with a brick. And if you want to see it, I won't say too much, but he does something with a brick that is there and it's not there anymore. That's all I'll say. That effect, I would watch that every single day. I have no idea what's going on there, and it blew my mind. It changed my world. In fact, his whole show changed my world. So I would say that would be the effect. So it's something with a brick. In case you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it too much. But it's fantastic. I would say that.
So what would be the weirdest place you performed? I guess it's so weird. The people are weird. The place is weird. You have no idea. Everyone's just acting in the odd mood. It's a weird place.
Anytime I get a gig, I get some kind of idea of what the venue is if I have not been there before. But then when I get there, it's always different. So I would say the weirdest place would be, it was for this, I guess it was supposed to be for a costume party, but it seemed like I was the only one dressed up in costume. So they were like, hey, Marcus, could you dress up as a riverboat gambler? I'm like, ugh. I don't really do costumes. I don't really dress up, but hey, I'll do it. Yes, I always say yes. Yes. Can you do this? Yeah, why not? Can you make this? Yeah, why not? It's all experience points. So I went there. I went to like a costume place and tried to dress up, and like literally no one else was dressed up. I was in this weird kind of mashed together riverboat gambler costume, and so I felt really awkward the whole performance. But hey, it was all good. I would say that was probably the weirdest place that I've actually done something, because it wasn't necessarily the place. It was the whole situation was not something that I was ready for.
Yeah. There's a bunch of weird places you can perform, and I hate when those events happen. You know, when something's just off and it's weird.
Exactly.
When that guy's like, "I know what you did," but he really doesn't know what you did.
Exactly.
Kind of like, oh.
And then you can't really call him out. It's just like, well, I mean, you know, no, this is how I did it, and then you can't show them that. So it's just like, you just leave. You just leave the table. That's all. You go to the next table. That's all you do.
You make a lot of great effects.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
So what if someone took your effect and performed on it and got famous for it?
Okay.
Okay. What if they didn't credit you at all? Like, you didn't even mention you. They said that it's still a trick. They performed it. They made it up. Mm-hmm. It's all of them.
Oh, they say that they made it up and everything? Oh. Well, at that point, if someone was performing my effect, it's probably on the market already if they performed it. Yeah. So if someone were to perform it, that's fine. You know, hopefully they pay for it. And if they say that it's theirs, then I already have that record. That, you know, it's already out there in the market. So, but it's like, you know, those things I really don't fight too much because, you know, I'm always creating. I'm always creating like the next thing. I'll create something and I'm on to the next thing. There's only a few times where someone has done something that I've done in the past where I actually had to say something because it's, you know, they literally are crediting it as themselves. So I'll just address them and say, hey, you know, I did create this, you know, and then they'll go back and they'll correct everything. Yeah. But you know, I've been just on this kick of, you know, don't dwell on the past. You know, you created this, that, you know, it did what you needed to do back in the past. Now go forward, keep going, keep evolving. And so if someone were to come out and say, hey, you know, this is my effect, I created it, I would have a conversation with them maybe, and then and if they still want to keep doing that, then I have a whole track record of, hey, this is when it was created by this person and all this.
Now would you show them that, or did I put it on the internet or like the news or whatever?
You know, it hasn't really happened yet. It's happened like, you know, like very minute, but nothing to where I'm fighting back or anything. So that situation hasn't happened.
Do you have any advice for those magicians who are just starting to perform? Like they just pick up a deck of cards, totally new at this. I just want to perform. My age, older than me, whatever.
Just advice on performing?
Yeah, advice on performing.
You know, I think the best advice is to go out there and perform. Yeah, you know. I mean, yes, it's cool to sit at home and practice in front of a mirror or from a camera just to get the mechanics down of what you're practicing. But you're not gonna understand the effect until you actually take it out into the real world. You know, there's been many times where I'm. And I've done this before to where I create something and then for the first time I perform it in front of a crowd of people. And sometimes it nails, sometimes it crashes, you know. So I think the more times you actually perform it in front of people, you can even do your friends and family. Yeah. Just get it out there. You don't have to do it in front of a paid gig in order to understand how this effect should work. In fact, you shouldn't do that. By the way, you should once again practice in front of friends and family over and over and over. So maybe they can give you tips on what they like about it, what they don't like about it, before you actually take it to a paid audience. And so that means when you're ready to take it to a paid audience, then they're going to see the best version of what you perform.
Yeah, that's great advice. That's really true too, because friends. There's the best friends who'd be like this. That sucks. Yeah,
you know? You kind of need them. You kind of need them to kind of tell you like, okay, well, what's not good about it? You know, only if it's constructive though, because people can tell you, oh, it sucks, and they'll walk away. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't help you at all. You know,
why did it suck?
Exactly.
I need more information, please.
So exactly. So and that's another thing. Is just, you know, my friend says, check the source. You know, check the source of who is actually telling you that. You know, is it someone who is a close friend of yours who is going to give you honest feedback, which is what you need, or is it just someone that, you know, you're an acquaintance with and they'll say, oh, that sucks, and walk away? You know, I mean, you don't really want to base your performance on that kind of person. You want to base your performance on someone who's actually looking at what you're doing. Oh, here's why I didn't like that. Oh, did you ever consider doing this? You know, so you can actually get that positive feedback that you need in order to make sure that you can improve on your performing. Now,
do you have any advice for people who are not ready to perform, but they want to make effects? That's all they want to do. They just want to make effects, and they want to get it out there. They want to get the name out there for other magicians to perform. Like, they enjoy magic, but they don't feel like they can perform magic. Okay. They just want to make the trick.
Well, I mean, I don't believe that you have to be a performer in order to be a creator. Yeah. Right? And really the thing about that is that's trial and error. I mean, you're going to have to just keep making. I've made so many things, and I still make things that are not good. You know, I have an idea in my head, I make it, and it doesn't work out, right? So, but that's now few and far between because I have been creating for so long. I now know the points that I need to hit, to make sure that the effect is successful as I can make it. But I mean, it's all trial and error. I've been doing this forever, and so it's you keep making, you keep creating, don't stop creating. And then I think a great tip would be to all those effects that are not working, don't trash them completely. Just kind of document and see what happened, because then later on, this happens so many times to me, later on I'll have an idea, I'm like, oh, I have this new idea, and then I'll think back to something like, oh, I actually have the beginnings of that from this old effect that I had that didn't work in the way that I wanted it to. Now I can take that principle, put it here, and boom, and now it completely works. But if you're a creator and not a performer, and you want to create something for the market, you just got to keep creating. You don't have to put all of it out. Just keep building, keep creating, keep coming up with ideas, and pick out those ones that would sell well. And I guess that would be the best advice for me. Just keep going. Yeah. Keep creating.
I have one more question.
Okay.
So it's kind of mixed into whether someone performed your trick and said it was theirs. But what really it is what if someone said, like, what if someone took your trick and they said they made it, but also they released it, they didn't perform it, they released it themselves and put it for free. Like, wow. So they can get all the publicity and everything. Nice.
I don't know if I can give my answer on camera because I don't want to incriminate myself. But I'm joking. It's man, that's hardcore. That's hardcore to actually know that know that someone is taking your effect. They're taking it, I guess, verbatim, and then putting it out in the market. That's outright thievery, And in that situation, it's probably when, I definitely would come into play and say, hey, I would probably get the magic community involved, because once again, they probably would know, or most people would know that this is my effect or whatever. But I think, I can't allow something like that to happen, because that's so dishonest. In all the hard work that I put into my effects and my creations, if I didn't say anything at all, I think I would be doing myself a disservice, because all that time that I spent creating it would be almost put to waste. So it's wow. That's a super tricky situation. I hope that never happens. I hope that never happens to anybody. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But it does happen a lot in the magic community. So as long as people are educated on the original source, and as long as you are crediting the original source, I think that's a difference. If I was being credited for that, like, hey, this is inspired by something Marcus did, then I'd be okay with that. But just to say, hey, no, this is mine. I came up with it, and I'm putting it on the market. Now I say that to say this. There is a thing called independent creation, there's ideas that are floating out in the world always. So there is a strong possibility that the idea could have been independently created by that person. And then at that point, I would like to have a conversation with that person just to see at what point they created it, and so we can come to, not an agreement, but we can come to an understanding at that point. But for instance, if I had something on the market, and maybe it didn't do too well, like maybe it was flew under the radar, and then someone saw it and they did whatever to it and say, hey, this is my effect now, and they put it out. It looks the same. It may be a slightly different method or whatever. Then it's one of those things. Once again, we have to have a conversation. And so I think it's the best way that I can answer that, is that we would have to have a conversation to see where the disconnect was and see how we can resolve it.
Well, that's all my questions. If you want to ask anything, or you want to just talk about anything new, or you want to give a description out from yourself, go check him out. Like, really, he's amazing. He's released a new effect, and it's great. Just go look at Marcus at it. You're an amazing guy, and thank you for coming to the interview.
No, I mean, this has been fantastic. Once again, thank you for having me here. I'm loving everything that you're doing right now on the Curiously Enough. It's pretty fantastic to see the growth, and once again, you're at the beginning stages right now. So I'm gonna be watching, and then seeing every little level of growth that you have is inspiring me as well, because it's like, man, this helps me get off my butt and actually start working and keep going, keep creating. When I see good content online, that's actually really informative. So keep doing what you're doing, man. This is fantastic, and thank you once again.
Thank you. I really enjoyed what you had to say with the last question. That was true. I really wanted your input on that.
Okay, great.
So
awesome.
So
are you interested in creating, maybe, or is that good?
I don't know yet. That's my honest answer.
Okay.
I've always thought of creating effects, it's been one of my things.
Okay.
Like maybe I can do this, maybe I can't.
You can, by the way. You can. You definitely can.
It's one of those things that I know it's gonna take some time and work.
Definitely. Hey, if you need help, you can always hit me up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks. Well, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe down below and hit the notification bell to join the notification squad. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a magical life, and I'll see you next time.
See ya. I have this idea, you know, and I'm thinking about this. You know, how do I go about it? Let me know, man. I'll help you. I'll try to get you to your goal as fast as possible.